Hello, this is Cineholics. I'm your
Hey,
co-host, Tim, resident Sonic expert here.
Oh, yeah, I haven't played a Sonic game actually in quite some time. I totally missed out on Mania, so I may actually have to concede there that Tim is maybe more of a Sonic expert than me. But for those of you who don't know, my name's Cal.
Well, I only stopped probably at like Sonic and the Black Knight. I think was my last.
I was gonna say, okay, no, I played Sonic Colors, but yeah, I was gonna say, I think the last game I might have played was Sonic and the Black Knight, because I remember playing the multiplayer with my brother, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah, I basically played Sonic 1 and 2, and like I'm pretty much an expert. I understand the lore of Sonic.
Okay, actually, I think technically speaking, the most recent Sonic game I played is the Steam port of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh. Which story mode did you go for first?
I can't remember. I think I literally just got it so I could play City Escape.
Follow me, set me free.
Yeah.
And together we will finally get into the what this video is about.
So, in case you hadn't noticed, we are discussing Sonic right now because I finally got around to seeing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and let me just say, I was not disappointed.
See, I saw this movie on Valentine's Day 2, Electric Boogaloo. And for those of you that are uncultured, that is February 28th, the best Valentine's Day. Although it's basically like a sequel in every regard, where it's cheaper and also is not as good as the original.
I'm a big fan of the originals. I've not really been disappointed by Valentine's Day for a while. But, I know there's some people it's just not their thing. So if, you're single or you're just not into the whole Valentine's Day capitalism and whatnot, Valentine's Day 2 is the way to go.
Hey, man, Valentine's Day 2, you get all those deals because Valentine's Day chocolate's out of season.
There you go.
There you go. But just like being out of season, let's talk about the Sonic movie.
Yeah, I am getting to it a little bit late, but you know what? Better late than never, right?
Yeah, this is actually my second time. I could go for seeing a third, actually. Ringing endorsement.
I won't lie. If this movie is reasonably priced, I'd buy it. It's enjoyable. Yeah. I wouldn't mind watching it again. I'd be remiss in saying this is a good cinematic experience.
How dare you?
Hold on. No, I'm just saying,
you can't tell. What, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the girl isn't a great actress?
Hold on a second here. My only major complaint about the Sonic film is some of the dialogue. Like, there's tacky jokes and everything, but it's fine. It's a video game movie. What do you expect from a video game movie?
Well, as my last Sonic game being Sonic and the Black Knight, this dialogue was top tier. I must say, better than The Godfather?
I did say,
question mark?
I did say some of the dialogue. Like I said, there are specific lines from this movie, but there's a line Dr. Robotnik says when he meets the protagonist Tom and his wife, and he says, "Oh, you've taken a lover."
You don't even remember the wife's name.
I don't remember the wife's name.
It's Pretzel Lady.
It's not.
It's
That's
Pretzel
fair.
Lady.
That's fair.
How dare you?
I do feel bad. Yeah. How many times did they even say her name in the movie?
I don't think they did, actually.
I
legitimately think
They definitely said it, but not. She didn't come up often enough.
I'm gonna look this up.
All right, you know what? You do that. In the meantime, Dr. Robotnik meets her for the first time, and he's like, "Oh, you've taken a lover," which of course is hilarious in and of itself, hearing Jim Carrey dressed as Dr. Robotnik saying that. But then he says, "Does she have a name, or should I just call her Collateral Damage?" That was just a really raw line. Like, you could put that in like a Devil May Cry game, or No More Heroes, something along those lines, and it would fit right in. It was great.
You know what? All right, guess what the name is actually for the wife. It's so basic, actually.
I've got a lot of basic names running through my mind.
Just throw one out. Throw one out right now.
Shoot.
Throw one out like the ring Sonic Bros.
Mary.
Close, actually.
Really?
You're not too far off.
I'm feeling M.
You're on the right track.
See, okay.
Wow, guys, we're gonna have a breakthrough here. Will you remember the name?
Hold on.
Vote in the comments below.
Mercy. No, that's not.
Mercy.
That's not a.
Mercy me. Come on, dude.
It's not Mary, but it's an M name.
It's an M name.
Maria.
No, I wish. That would actually have been
I would have remembered if it was Maria, actually.
All right, do you want to know what it is?
What?
It's Maddie.
That's not even, like, basic.
That's pretty basic.
That's like, no, it's like so basic it doesn't even come to mind.
That doesn't make sense.
Apologies if your name is Maddie. I'm sorry.
He doesn't actually apologize. But I feel like we should actually talk about what the movie is.
What the movie has to offer.
Yeah. Let's start from the beginning. So I guess, how did you feel, first of all, about the beginning of the film, like the intro of the movie?
All right, so we get the typical, yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here type deal.
I hate that so much.
See, I like it when it's done kind of facetiously.
Does this count, though?
I don't think it counts because it was doing it because they had no other way to start the story, I think.
It's as someone that sadly, even though it was kind of before my time, still kind of grew up on Saved by the Bell. I hate that trope.
Really?
I hate that trope so much. The minute they started with that, I literally was about to like turn to you and do like the time out. You may be wondering how I ended up in this situation.
In the theater, I even went wicka wicka.
Yeah, you did, and I'm just like, we don't need this.
Yeah, that was not the highlight of the film.
Sonic got hit and lost his rings at that moment.
That's some low-hanging fruit. All right. Past that, though, I do really kind of like the backstory. I think they came up with something interesting to use for the film, the cinematic Sonic universe.
What the
planet he's
SMCU,
from?
Sonic Movie Cinematic Universe?
The Sega universe.
The Sega universe.
Oh, really quick note, guys. My favorite part of the movie happens before Sonic even ever appears in the film. It's when they show Beat from Jet Set Radio kind of skating around in the Sega logo.
You yelled out and someone shushed you, actually.
It was Ellie that shushed me, actually.
You got shushed.
There were other people in the theater.
There was 3 other people in the theater.
They need to play Jet Set Radio.
Wait a minute. I shouldn't have... All right. Spoiler alert. But at the end of the movie, when Tails showed up because I had it dead set in my heart that if Knuckles appeared in this movie, I was going to yell out, "Oh, fuckles, it's Knuckles." Well, Knuckles didn't, kind of.
Saving the minds and hearts of children everywhere. Not that they aren't on the internet already.
I mean, I still said, "Oh, fuckles, it's Tails." But I didn't realize there was kids. Sorry. What kids are going to see the Sonic movie in 2020?
Are you kidding me? Anyway, back to the beginning of the film. I was discussing Sonic's origins. I like it. I feel like it's pretty good. I'm not really sure why they felt the need to invent the bird mom.
Yeah, that was weird.
I mean, her design was all right. I thought they did a
What's her name? What's her name? Like
dead parent.
Bambi's mom.
That's mom.
From now on, Bambi's mom shall be her name.
I like the Echidna Hunter characters.
Yeah, that was the closest to Knuckles that we were gonna get.
Yeah, I have a feeling that when they introduce the cinematic Knuckles, he'll probably be like a member of their tribe or whatever.
Well, we'll get into that later, but I kind of have a theory of what's probably going to end up in the second movie. I mean, the Sonic movie has had to have made past its budget already by now. Yeah. I mean, like...
That's something you should probably look up before you start talking about it.
We don't do that here. This is all improv all the time, baby. But continue on while I look up this treasure trove of information.
Pull up that number really quick.
Yeah.
I liked pretty much all the CG character designs. I know that they
You were feeling Baby Sonic, like Little Sonic?
Well, okay, no.
Little Sonic kind of
was a little uncanny for me. But
yeah.
I mean, in general, I liked the Echidna alien people. I liked the bird mom, and for pretty much the entirety of the runtime, teenage Sonic, I guess you would call him, or adult Sonic, not sure. I mean, he never really looked like ugly to me during it.
Oh, man.
So props to the design teams there. I know they had to go back and kind of redo it after that first one. I mean, I probably wouldn't have minded it that much with the ugly design. I think it would have made the experience funnier.
You know what I kind of hope they do?
What?
For like when they release it on like Blu-ray, they have like the director's cut.
I think people
and
are
it's
talking
the
about
it's the original design.
I think they specifically said they weren't going to release.
Oh, they should. They need to.
Maybe it's
do it for the people.
You know,
hey,
Sega.
I
don't think a full version of the film actually.
Sega, if you're listening to this, Sega, sponsor us. First of all, we need that money. But second of all, bring back the original design. The people want it.
I don't think a full version of the movie exists with that design. I'm pretty sure.
Well, there's
that
theories
they only did the promos.
There's theories that they actually like they made entirely new scenes. Like not just changing the design, they made entirely new scenes. Because what you remember what was he in, like the drying machine?
Yeah.
There's no way that the original design would have fit in
Yeah,
there.
that's a good point.
There's no way.
Actually, one of the things I was worried about going into the movie was, everyone laughed about the meow when it first came out. And I was really worried that it hadn't made it into the final film. So I was really happy to see that made it in.
But to bring us back to the box office for the smash hit, over $300 million. It's the second highest grossing film of the year so far. Granted, we're only in the third month. And
chances are the movies for the next few weeks probably won't be making too much.
And chances are that the film industry might go bottom under in a few months. But hey, man, when Jim Carrey walks across the Oscars for his Best Supporting Actor gig,
Best Supporting Actor, he was the antagonist.
He's the they're not gonna give him the best actor, because technically Sonic's the main character. So. But, hey, video game movies are kind of...
They're getting better.
They're getting better. We're not doing a good job of talking about the Sonic movie, but hey, we're not good at many things in life, and that's the journey called life. But back to the movie. So although I did not like the Zack timeout bullshit, Saved by the Bell start to the movie and everything, I did actually, I kind of like the first 20, 30 minutes where they're kind of building up Sonic's life in Earth and everything. I mean, it's kind of heart. It kind of tugs at the heartstrings a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. You heard it here first, folks.
I can see a kid who really likes Sonic feeling sad.
Sammy Sonic fan?
All right. For real, when you're a kid, you're really affected by stuff you see on the screen,
Actually, true fact, I cried during Marley and Me when I was a kid.
Well, I don't think you should have been watching that movie as a kid, to be honest, but,
That was like a PG movie, wasn't it?
My parents always told me I shouldn't watch it when I was a kid.
This is the same person that got scared by the Power Rangers movie because of Ivan Ooze.
No, I was scared of Ivan Ooze too, actually.
Ivan Ooze scared me, man. I literally could not watch him. I don't know what it was, but the makeup on him actually kind of terrified me.
Hold on. What was that actor? He's actually really talented, right?
I don't know. I was just scared, man. I didn't watch the movie.
No. I understand that. I mean, you're a kid. It doesn't matter. I got scared.
I'm 23. I'm not a kid anymore.
During the Mask episode of Goosebumps as a kid. So.
Oh, that scared me too. Oh.
So yeah, I'm just saying, a kid watching Sonic be all isolated and sad would probably have a pretty big impact on a kid, And it's
played by Paul Freeman.
Paul Freeman.
Do you know what Paul Freeman's been in?
No.
Well, very established actor, as you just said.
Yeah.
As evident by the fact you don't.
I recognize the name. That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
He's been in. All right. So he's also well noted for playing a character in Indiana Jones, the first movie.
A character in Indiana Jones, the first
Renee
movie.
Belloc.
Are you kidding me? Belloc?
Belloc?
That's nuts.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the first one in a long time.
Hello? He's
It's not the main villain.
He's the primary antagonist.
He's the one with the glasses?
Do we really need to pull up Raiders right now?
We might need to pull. We'll pull it up later. We're not trying to get derailed here, but dude, I haven't seen Raiders in years. I've seen arguably Temple of Doom and Crusaders
remember when we were talking about the Sonic movie?
Yeah, remember this is a podcast about the Sonic movie right now, guys. In case you couldn't tell, we're trying our best. We've drank a little bit. We've drank a little bit. I've had. I don't know, how much have you had?
I've just finished my second mixed drink a little bit ago.
I'm drinking Four Loko. It's the best thing.
Please drink responsibly.
Please drink Four Loko, and Four Loko, if you're watching this,
We're not sponsored by any alcohol company. I'm pretty sure it's actually legal.
Four Loko. I drink a lot of. I'm just saying. I drink a lot of Four Loko.
It's probably not super healthy for him, but
my liver agrees. But
the mind is willing, but the body is weak.
But all right, where were we in this
you were
disaster?
You were talking about freeze framing, and no, actually, we had gotten past that. We were talking about the scene.
Yeah, the how it was kind of it would be sad for a kid, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, look, am I gonna say that it was really sad? No. It's that basic level of sadness where it's one of those like
You
Facebook.
understand it's being used as
It's
a
like
plot device.
it's like one of those Facebook videos you watch every now and again. You just see pop up and you're like, oh, that's kind of sad, but then you like move on with your life. I mean, that's the kind of level we're talking about here. I mean, am I gonna say that it's groundbreaking? Is it like really impressive? No, but does it do its job? I mean, you can't tell me that baseball scene isn't kind of sad.
It was good. I think it was well put together.
Like, it's kind of sad. Like, I
said, it would make a kid feel sad.
Are you calling me a kid? In my opinion, I am 9 years old. But I digress.
I'd be really concerned about a 9-year-old drinking that much Four Loko. I did say the biggest complaint of mine was the dialogue. There's some weak dialogue, but I guess looking back at it, the thing I really hate the most is just Tom, the character Tom.
You don't like Tom?
Tom, he's just so boring. Like, he has some good lines. I was surprised that he was not as irredeemable as I thought he would be, which is why I didn't immediately say he was my least favorite part. But I just think, like,
I kind of like Tom.
He's so
I know that
boring.
he's like, I know that he doesn't stand out performances, and I'm not just saying this because he has a line in the movie where he says his dentist calls him Tim.
I thought that was funny.
And my name is Tim.
I liked,
but Tom, I mean, like, all right,
his performance, the actor, shoot, what's his name?
It's not.
God, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, you're yelling at me about knowing what I was talking about before starting this. Look at you.
I did forget that Paul Freeman was in Raiders of the Lost Ark. So.
It's not Ben Schwartz because that's
he was from Hop,
James
right?
Marsden. James Marsden.
Yeah, his performance was fine. It wasn't breakout. It wasn't anything really worth writing home about, I'd say. But I mean,
you have to take into consideration that this is a Sonic movie.
I mean, he's not taking the attention away from Sonic.
But B, this is a video. You have to video game movies have been so historically bad.
But I thought was that Jaden Smith in the Detective Pikachu movie?
Which one?
Detective Pikachu.
No, I'm saying which
the protagonist, the guy.
He was not a good actor.
I thought he did all right.
No, he's not a good actor. And I'll say this because I also watched Jurassic World, which he's in, and he's not a good actor in that either. No offense, if for whatever reason he stumbles across this video in a drunken stupor, like I currently am.
Okay, actually, if we're talking about bad performances and the Sonic movie, I will say some of Sonic's lines were very phoned in.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
The delivery was so rough.
When the drones started coming close to us, so it's like,
exactly
they're here. I have to go.
I have to go. Pardon me just one moment. This is very urgent.
See, you're not a true Sonic fan, because Sonic fans know that that's just a callback to Shadow the Hedgehog, the video game on the GameCube.
One of the callbacks in the movie I did really like is when Sonic said, "That's no good." Like,
did he say that?
He
I don't even remember that.
He didn't say it in the exact voice, but he said, "That's no good," and I immediately caught it.
I feel like the only callback they really had, besides like the two signs of like Green Hills and the high top zone or whatever the fuck it was called. High top, whatever. But like the only other callback was just chili dogs, and that was kind of it.
Hold on, no, there's definitely more in there.
Well, I mean, I think they had the ring
pretty
sound.
decent remix of the Robotnik theme.
So like after the EMP, after he like runs around the baseball field, scores probably like 100+ runs. He has this little angsty moment. I'm all alone. I'm gonna run around this diamond for some reason forever until I explode, and then all the power goes out.
Hey, sometimes when you're a teenager and you're mad, you just do stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, so
let's not talk about that.
Yeah. I never had that phase. I'm sorry. But
you telling me you were never angry as a teenager ever?
No, actually, funny story. So a little digression for y'all at home.
Here.
A little digression.
That's all we have. Digression.
Yeah. In middle school, I was a raging atheist.
Oh boy.
I was super like, there's no God. You guys are dumb. You guys are stupid. Look at evolution. Look at all this. And then, like, eventually I grew up and realized that I wasn't actually an atheist. I was just an asshole. And then I kind of moved on. But, like, that...
I mean, it's fine to be an atheist, but I'm glad that you know the distinction between...
Oh, yeah. I was like the Dax Shepard of atheists. So, very low-hanging and not very long-lasting. So... like, I understand, like, the motives, I guess, for being, like, super angry. I mean, like, being all alone, like, that's gotta suck. I mean, like...
Yeah, I mean, when I was that age, I did not really have many friends, and I was pretty
Wait,
angry
you still have
about
friends?
Oh, that's really funny.
That's a little joke.
That's a little joke.
That's a little
because
inside
he's in
joke.
my apartment right now.
Don't tell anyone about that.
I really want to talk about Eggman's, or I guess I should say Robotnik's introduction, just because
How dare you start with Eggman? He's clearly Robotnik.
Jim Carrey just really killed it. That
Actually,
whole film, like
Jim carried this film.
Hey, I was gonna say I'm gonna
That's
steal
my
Ellie's joke. You can't really steal Ellie's joke there without crediting.
That was Ellie's joke,
I'm
but
sure someone else has made it before, but
My joke.
but he did carry that film, and especially the guy who played Stone. I think that his character and his performance was just the perfect balance to Jim Carrey's unhinged Robotnik.
yeah, I could. Well, because like he doesn't. I mean, if you took it at like a micro level, like his performances, he literally has no personality. He's just kind of like there.
Well, no, I don't think he has no personality. I think his personality is that he's supposed to be a very like caring, supportive husband. You know.
Well, I guess, but like what I mean, like he doesn't really have like I guess
He does have a lot of
picture it
substance,
as
that's
like
fair.
an image that you're supposed to draw into, like color in,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
fill in with color and everything like that. Like when you're a little kid and you have those little drawing books and everything, you just fill in between the lines with color, whatever. Like that's kind of how he felt. Like it was just kind of like a cutout kind of character that doesn't have like anything, you know, else to him. But I do really agree that by having him not be like any big personality, it kind of works.
It made room for
It works
Jim Carrey's
really well with Carrey's
enormous-
performance.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey is a national treasure. I love
mean,
Jim Carrey.
I'm not a fan of hero worship. I'll be honest.
I'm not worshiping. I'm just saying like.
No, I'm just saying like there's no actor that if you were like they're retiring or they just died that I'd be like, oh no, I'll never watch a film again. Like I know
Well-
that's obviously hyperbole, but
Is that obvious? Do we know that's obvious?
I would hope. I guess this is for many listeners. This is they're establishing characterization for me. So they don't know if.
What are you talking about? They already know about us.
Oh, yeah.
This is our 50th episode, right?
Yeah.
We're celebrating 100,000 subscribers with
Anyway, regarding the way Eggman was written, saying nothing of Jim Carrey's performance because we could go on and on and on about it because it was just really good. But I think they did a really good job writing Robotnik. He's like just an egomaniac. He's always waving his accomplishments in other people's faces. The dialogue he has, there's very little dialogue that he has that I was annoyed by or like thought was wasteful. There's one line where he's like, "Give me a big fat break" or something like that. That was just like, you maybe could have done a better job there. But like for the most part, his dialogue's good. I really like.
They wrote him better than most of the other characters.
I would say, yeah, most of the other characters, like Robotnik has some of the best lines. The aforementioned collateral damage line, the bit
classic,
about
actually.
my dentist calls me Rob.
I mean, that breast milk's...
That was good. That was good.
That when he was like,
Weird
I was
flex, but
spitting
okay.
up... I was writing formulas while you were spitting up formulas. And then Tom, the genius that he is, said, I was breastfed. And Robotnik was like...
But way to rub it into the face of an orphan or something like that, yeah.
The next part of the movie kind of goes... It's a buddy cop movie.
Yeah, really.
It's essentially a buddy cop movie, and you either love it or you hate it.
The last buddy cop film I watched was probably Hot Fuzz.
That's a good movie.
That's pretty good.
This
yeah.
is a Hot Fuzz podcast. That's a good film. Let's talk about that.
That's not right.
But so where are we at? We're getting lost. Where are we at?
Let's Tom meets Sonic.
Tom meets Sonic.
Oh, by the way, Sonic has been like spying on Tom and his wife.
Oh yeah. So we got Tom, Donut Lord, shoots Sonic with a tranquilizer gun because he's got a raccoon problem.
I was really kind of surprised. I know I'm assuming that the plot is that Sonic was caught off guard because the guy saw him, but like we see him like basically pause time sort of when he's running around. So
it was like in Heroes, man. Have you ever seen that show Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the characters is like able to just stop time.
Yeah, it's like an Over the Hedge.
Oh man.
Um,
Over the Hedge is a better movie than Sonic?
Yes.
Obviously, I wasn't expecting too much from the movie going in, but the fact that he got tranked like by the cop was just like, I feel like he could have dodged that one. He didn't seem too caught off guard.
But the whole crux, the whole point of the movie and why it has to move forward is Sonic has these magical rings. He's got these rings given to him by Bambi's mom that he can throw. Basically, if he imagines like an image, a world, whatever, he can throw the ring and it's an instant transport, like instant teleporter to there. You can just cross over through the ring, get to there.
And I thought that was a pretty interesting implementation of the ring ideas, actually, because like that way there was a reason for him to have all those rings. There was a reason for them to be important to him, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it actually gave him a reason to want to like get all of his rings back.
And then Tom, the cop character, he feels responsible because it's all his fault that Sonic loses his rings.
Well, you didn't say how he loses his rings yet.
Well,
you're getting ahead of yourself here, champ. So
he
Sonic
gets tranked.
imagines. Well, he gets tranked by Tom.
He sees Tom's hoodie, which is San Francisco.
Tom, who doesn't believe that Sonic's a cat, even though Sonic says meow, drops the ring,
and then opens a portal,
and then he loses the rings through the portal.
The rest of his rings fall through the portal on top of the building in San Francisco.
Yeah, and then that's where the whole point of the movie comes in, because
so
now they have to go get it. The buddy cop dynamic starts.
Before we go too much farther into the plot of the movie, I want to bring up the rampant product placement.
Oh
God. Before you start that, let me look at this home on Zillow.
Yeah, so we got Zillow is advertised. They have the homepage on the screen. The font is very readable. The pretzel lady goes, "I've been looking at these apartments I found on Zillow," and then it cuts to it. It's so bad.
At least it's not all right. As bad as it is, it's never going to be as bad as in the Amazing Spider-Man series when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man goes through Bing. He uses Bing.
Anyway, it's not just the Zillow thing. We got the Olive Garden.
Oh, Olive Garden.
Gosh.
Was it the where home is or whatever?
Yeah, it's the Tom and his wife, their favorite restaurant's Olive Garden, and they talk about it. And then later in the end of the movie, we'll get to that, but they get given an Olive Garden gift card, and government agents like, "Have you had those unlimited breadsticks?" And it's just, oh my.
But have you had those unlimited breadsticks?
No, I have celiac disease. I mean, I have. I had them when I was younger, but I don't know if they've changed them at all since.
I mean, Olive Garden's all right. Hey, Olive Garden, if you're listening to this, I like your breadsticks.
Yeah, support us. I'll go and order your endless gluten-free rotini.
I'll eat Cal's breadsticks.
No, they have gluten-free rotini. I have eaten at Olive Garden.
I'll still eat Cal's
Zupa
breadsticks.
Toscana, pretty good.
I'll still eat Cal's
This
breadsticks.
podcast is not sponsored by Olive Garden, by the way.
This
But it could be.
This podcast is sponsored by the new hit show Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, starring
What did you just say?
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, starring on Cartoon Network.
Starring on Cartoon Network.
Chaz it up, get your game on, and don't be like Cyrus a cuck. Anyways,
I'm cutting that out. That's not staying in.
that's staying in.
That's not staying in.
That's staying in.
Oh boy.
But anyways, Robotnik definitely kills kids and their families.
Oh
in this
yeah,
movie.
that was established that he does like drone strikes.
So
in the Middle East.
after Sonic and Tom go on their buddy cop trip to get Sonic to his rings, Robotnik starts chasing him down. Because Robotnik is angry that Tom punched him in the face and everything, and actually beat him, and was breastfed instead of used formula, because he's salty. But so he chases him down. They're driving on the road. Robotnik has one of his drone machines, he has 10 different variations of drone machines or whatever.
I liked all the drone
he
designs.
He had a Batmobile drone.
Okay, so I didn't really like the Batmobile stage one, but when they got smaller and stuff, I thought those were really cool. For the most part, I just thought they did a really good job sort of converting the robot designs from the Sonic games. I kind of like, this is another sort of side thing, but it is related to the movie, so it's better than what we've been doing so far. I actually kind of like the idiot cop.
Wade.
Wade, yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, Wade.
I thought he was all right. I mean, he had some really tacky dialogue, but I thought that the actor who was playing him did a good job with what he had, you know?
I mean,
he was likable.
When you get one of those kind of jobs,
coming from me for a cop character, that's pretty impressive for me to say he's likable.
I mean, it's one of those kind of characters where, like, if you fail miserably.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you fail miserably.
Like the stakes the stakes for success are low, and the stakes for failure are high.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like, you have to do kind of like, I wouldn't say like a bare minimum job, but if you do like just enough, you can kind of make that character work.
Yeah,
anything. But if you do like bad at that, it's just
it
actually kind of ruins part of the movie. So Wade is actually like, he's not bad.
He gets better as the movie goes on, I think.
Yeah,
his dialogue
when he
really
starts
bad.
in the movie, when he starts with OMG, he actually says OMG. Are
reaction.
You in the
Caribbean or whatever?
Yeah, you're in the Caribbean with Rihanna. How'd you get back here so quickly? That like
foreshadowing for Sonic's ability to travel around the world very fast. I mean, you can only go up from there.
Yeah, maybe that was tactical. Maybe they were like, we're gonna make him seem as horrible as possible, and then we're gonna make him not terrible.
So we got the road trip starting. We have this interesting character dynamic actually between Robotnik and Tom, because Robotnik's only ever been beaten in a fight by a bully once in middle school. And
don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah, don't you hate that? And so after he lost that fight, he invented a machine. He doesn't go into details, but he used technology to make it so that the bully had to drink food through a straw for the rest of his life.
Robotnik's a good guy.
Robotnik's a great guy.
A good guy, man.
So he's threatening Tom because Tom punches him in the face and he counts that as a loss. And so Tom always sort of rubs it in his face from that point on. He's like, "Oh wow, lucky me, huh?" It was one of the things that made Tom more palatable as a character, because otherwise he's just kind of a bland good guy hero to sort of help Sonic out. But in a way, he's sort of a foil to Robotnik, because he's like not really that smart, but he's quick thinking enough to like hold his own against Robotnik, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Robotnik's kind of he's not even kind of, he is a douche. Because remember the first time he meets Tom, and he's just he's talking about how he's
from the electric company.
Yeah, well, not even just that. It's just like you're rural bumpkin.
Yeah,
and like my rural chum.
I think it really plays into attitude going around about how people, you know, from like the South are unintelligible. Although
Montana's not the South. Wait a minute. Let me grab the map of the U.S. right quick. Yes, Montana is southern U.S.
Montana until after the word South left.
How could you forget? It's so obvious.
It's just that, you know, most of those stereotypes are about people from the South, but there's plenty of smart people in the South.
I think you're making the stereotypes here. Wow, canceling cow culture 2020.
Oh my god, I know plenty of people who seem to think that like Southern stereotypes are still alive and well, and you know,
Montana is literally like
it's pretty north.
It's
actually.
like one of the most north states you can get.
But
it might as well be Canada.
It's the middle of nowhere. It's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I think one of the underlying themes of the film is like building up solidarity for like small town communities.
Yeah,
know?
Because Tom was supposed to go to. That was one of the big things too. That's why they Sonic first saw San Francisco, because Tom wanted to be like an actual cop.
Big city cop.
He wanted to be a big city cop. He wanted
to be an LA noir.
Yeah, he wanted. Imagine Sonic LA Noir crossover.
No, that's not even a Sega game.
But he wanted to be a big time cop, so he wanted to go to San Fran, and he actually got accepted to like San Francisco's police academy pending physical or whatever they said.
Yeah.
And then
and they got accused of being a terrorist, so that kind of went out.
Yeah, so it basically lost all credibility and any ability to be a job anywhere.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah. But he wanted to go to like the big city. He wanted to get away from the small town.
He wanted to feel like he was actually helping people.
Yeah.
So it was a big thing because he was actually helping Sonic throughout the movie.
Is Sonic a person?
Very surface level themes to sort of push at children as like messages.
You're not getting anything past surface level.
You're not getting some nuance.
This
takes on
this isn't The Irishman on Netflix. This is Sonic the Hedgehog on theater screens until probably like 2 weeks from now, when all theaters if that, depending on how we're going. But you're not getting like deep themes, but you're getting enough. I mean, you're getting enough. That's the theme. We can call that the theme of the movie.
My $10
enough.
was well spent on the ticket.
So where are we at now? We've lost. We're.
There's the car action scene. Oh wait, no. Before that, we have him go to the biker bar.
Yeah. Oh God, that scene.
That's
so. I don't get why Sonic's so interested in a biker bar.
I didn't get that either.
They don't give any hints to why he would be super into a biker bar.
I mean, some of the tricks the bikers are doing outside the bar are kind of cool.
Well, that motorcycle trick?
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's enough of it to really convince him to want to go in.
Yeah.
It might just be because it's new. Like, I kind of get that, but I don't know. It just doesn't. The biker bar doesn't seem very Sonic-y. In fact, I was surprised that they showed, like, beer bottles and everything. It's not like I was like, oh, you can't show this in a Christian film. But it was
I'm
just
a good
like,
Christian boy.
It was just, like, not...
As evident by my atheist story previously.
Yeah. I thought that scene was... I mean, you could take it or leave
It's weird, though, that's, like, the scene that brings him and Tom together, though. Because, like, that's when Tom brings up the bucket list, which becomes kind of, like, an important side plot about, like, doing all these things you really want to do before you die. And then, like, Sonic's like, oh, I want to do a bunch of things before I leave this world. But, like, did you have to do it at a biker bar?
Yeah. And then, I mean, the Bronco riding thing, that's, like, haha funny. All of it, for the most part, it's, like, fine, whatever. If you
gave them a different reason for having, like, this bucket list.
The other thing, okay, I know it was on Sonic's bucket list, spoiler alert, that he wanted to start a bar fight.
Did he? Was that on the bucket list?
He crossed it off the bucket list.
I don't remember that, actually.
But, so, without knowing that, his behavior in the bar is really weird because he's just so antagonistic to the biker who starts the fight with Tom.
All right, well, let's talk about the bikers who start the fight. They start the fight because they look like hipsters.
Their reasoning is they introduce it by saying, "We don't like your kind here," but it's okay because they have a black biker with them, so you know they're not doing it for bad reasons.
But, like, they're supposedly because Tom and Sonic look like hipsters, even though they look like literally everyone else there. He dressed like he lives in Montana.
I don't know.
I've never been to Montana. He looks like he lives in Montana.
He looks very nondescript. Like I said, to me, he looks like a Midwestern dad because Midwestern dads, he's wearing a flannel, right?
He's wearing a flannel with a cap and jeans.
Yeah,
and that's it.
That's anywhere. Honestly, that's anywhere.
That's like one of the most standard dad outfits you can get in the Midwest.
Yeah. And then the fight scene, I mean, it's fine. I'll be honest, I think it really could have benefited from Ballroom Blitz playing in the background. I know that's definitely overused, but it would have suited it.
Now, though?
Well, probably not by this point. Yeah. But I just feel like it really would have suited it and fit with the vibe of the movie.
I almost wonder if they, like, because that's when Sonic first shows that, like,
he can stop time, right?
when he goes super fast, like, time is basically still. Like, I don't even think, like, anything's moving during that time, right?
No.
So, like, when he goes, like, his super speed, like, no one can move. But, like, do you think, though, like, it would have been better served waiting for that until the end?
No, I think it's important to establish it, although...
but the problem
is... So here's my thing about it. Not to cut you off, but...
Wow.
So...
How could you?
On the building scene, skipping, like, way ahead, when he's fighting Eggman... and Eggman's pushing this button that's gonna make his ship be fast enough to chase Sonic. The time stops for, like, the missiles and everything. But his finger still moves.
That's why I feel like they should have waited for it. Because the problem is, like, during this bar fight scene, like, no one's moving. I don't think anyone has any movement whatsoever.
Like if they just did it a little differently, so, like, people were moving a little bit, that wouldn't have been a problem, and it would have been a good establishment.
But no one's moving
for his ability. But the fact that no one's moving at him is.
That's why I feel like either they either need to basically have changed it so, like, people are moving but super slow, or they save that until later.
Yeah, because then it just feels really inconsistent that he's able to move faster than these missiles, which have literally stopped.
Yeah. Nothing's moving.
Nothing's moving except... Eggman's moving, his finger's moving.
It's Robotnik, not Eggman. Get it right.
And, well, they call him Eggman in the movie, so it's fine.
As a joke.
Tom and Pretzel Lady are also falling from the
I like
building.
how you keep calling her Pretzel Lady, even though we talked about what her name
Maddie,
is.
That's her name. Maddie.
But Pretzel Lady.
I mean, whatever.
Alright, Cal had to get up to pee, so we had to
Oh,
stop
wow,
recording.
blame it on me.
As he says, drinking his 5th mixed drink. This man.
Not quite yet. I think this is my 4th, actually.
Oh, damn, I need to catch up. But, alright, we were talking, I think we're at, like, the middle point of the movie. Tom sees that he's on the news, he's a big nuisance to society, and...
Potentially armed.
Yeah, armed and dangerous, with that blue hedgehog that can talk.
They don't mention the hedgehog in the news, though.
I'm surprised that Tom believed Sonic when he said he was a hedgehog, actually.
I mean, he doesn't really look like a hedgehog
He
by
doesn't.
any means, so I don't know why you would be like, oh, he's a hedgehog.
Sonic says, I'm a hedgehog, isn't that obvious? And Tom's like, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And then he keeps driving. But so they're...
Then there's the robot fight scene with the big vehicle that, like, gradually gets smaller.
Yeah,
that's time it's
before...
defeated.
Is that before? No, that's after. Because
Yeah,
they have
'cause
the
that-
falling out. They have the falling...
Yeah, oh
the
my
falling,
god. The falling out's so pointless. They didn't even need it.
The worst thing in any movie, in my opinion, is that, like, midway point to, like, midway or, like, 3/4 of the way through a movie fallout between two characters.
It's always over something that really could be communicated away in, like, 5 minutes.
It's so
Always.
pointless. It's like, what is it called? What is it? The Wire Revealed or something like that? Is that what the official term is? It's so dumb, and it's in like, and like even though I'm a shill for a lot of Disney movies,
Are you really?
I like a lot of Disney movies. That's my childhood, sadly.
I can't even remember last. I mean, you always show the Marvel movies. Always,
Yeah,
always.
I love the Marvel movies.
He's not being paid though, so Disney, if you want to give Tim some money,
Hey,
you got
I don't-
to guys.
I don't have Disney. I don't have Disney Plus yet, so if you want to help fund that. But anyways, I'm like, in a lot of Disney movies, they do that, and it pisses me off every
It's just-
time.
I feel like it's every Hallmark movie. You know,
It probably is too.
sometimes. I mean, I won't go so far as to say they're guilty pleasure because I derive no pleasure from Hallmark movies.
So it's just guilty.
But it's really funny sometimes to sit there and watch them. Like recently, I saw one about like a fireman. It was actually played by what's his name? He plays Superman in the CW series. He played Superman in Superman Returns. He played the evil spy from
I know
Chuck.
what you're talking about. Kevin Roth? Is it Kevin
Is
Roth?
that his name?
That might be his name, Kevin Roth.
That doesn't sound right.
I think his last name's Roth.
Brandon Roth.
Brandon Roth.
Brandon Roth. He was in this Hallmark movie playing a firefighter who had a cat, and he was with this lady. And it was so bad. Everything's bad. I've never watched a Hallmark movie
Brandon
that's
Roth.
not bad.
It's Brandon Roth.
Yeah, but he was in it. I was really surprised. But sometimes it's just really funny to like have like a bingo chart almost.
Yeah.
And like watch a Hallmark movie and be
It's-
like, does it fill this one? Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah.
The free space may as well be the falling out.
Yeah, Sonic movie sadly can't get out of its own way. I'm not saying the Sonic movie had to be revolutionary with this buddy cop dynamic, because truth be told,
I mean, it's a video game movie.
It's a video game movie, and like the buddy cop movie has been basically like the most standard stereotype thing since like the 90s. Like nothing has been changed in the buddy cop movie for so long. Like literally, I think Lethal Weapon set the standard for the rest of years so far that we have for buddy cop movie.
And
The only
like I said,
difference,
I've not watched
the only difference is like now we have anthropomorphic buddy cops. Sonic as a buddy cop, but like
Ugh, man.
to have like that in the most standard way possible, and the falling out scene in the most standard and like rushed way possible too.
Yeah, the falling out was so.
The whole point
They
of
didn't even need it.
the whole
It
point of
added
the
nothing.
falling out was because Tom was like, "Well, we're not best friends yet."
No. So the actual like real purpose of the falling out was basically Sonic finding out that Tom is going to San Francisco to become this big city cop.
But it's
Because-
intertwined. No, it's intertwined because remember on Sonic's bucket list is to make a real friend.
Yeah, but
And then Sonic was like,
you can have
"You're
real
my
friends
best."
who aren't your best friend.
Does Sonic know that?
Yeah, I think Sonic.
Does Sonic know that? Sonic, who stalked this family for X amount of years, knows that a real friend isn't necessarily a best friend.
I mean, it doesn't feel good to be told you're not someone's best friend, but I think what Sonic's kind of missing out
Wait a
here.
minute, I need to call Andrew right now.
What I think Sonic's missing here is that obviously Tom would be his best friend because he's his only friend.
Basically, yeah.
And Tom has had his whole adult life and childhood to have friends. So it's like...
It's like a twofold. Like, it is a twofold thing. Because
thematically, the whole thing is that Sonic doesn't have a home.
Yeah.
He finds out that Tom, who's had this perfect home his whole life,
Yeah.
is leaving his home behind. And Sonic's mad because he's like, oh, why would you do that?
But it's short-sighted, too, from Sonic. Like...
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, it's short-sighted from Sonic because, like, Tom... I mean, look, in my home that I grew up in, for a while after I moved, I was like, dude, I wish I was still living there. You know, I wish I was still there. But then after a while, too, I was like,
Listen, I love my family, but my hometown is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
And I will absolutely
So...
not look forward to going back there at any...
It is a twofold thing, though. Because, like, the thing that starts it is when Sonic's like, you're my best friend. Or, like, we're best friends while we're on this trip or whatever. And Tom's like, that's a little, you know, best friends? I don't know about that. And then that progresses into the, like...
I will say, at least Tom was honest enough, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't lie and be like, oh, yeah, you're my best friend. Although he does say his best friend is his dog. So I feel
Yeah.
like I'd be a little insulted.
I would be,
if I was
too.
like, hey, Tim, you're my best friend. And you're like, oh, actually,
Wait, Cal,
Astra's my best friend.
I'm your best friend? Guys, breaking news. I'm someone's best friend. We're making progress.
Just so you guys know, Astra is Tim's cat. So I'm just
Astra
saying,
is an
in this
amazing...
hypothetical world,
Astra is better than
this
every single
hypothetical
person
world
in this
where I was
world.
like, wow, Tim, we're best friends. And he was like, actually, Astra's my best
I
friend.
love
I'd be
Astra.
like, okay.
The way that she runs up to me when I just like I wiggle my fingers and then she like rubs her head against it and then curls up. It's adorable. I love it.
I won't debate that cats are cute. I like cats. I'm just saying, you know.
As you're wearing cat headphones.
Oh, don't you? No one had to know. No one had to know. Tim.
Everyone's knowing
No
now.
one had to know when you brought it up.
Everyone's knowing now.
Oh man.
But so they had that. Like they have a fight in the middle of like Robotnik trying to kill
They have
them.
a fight in the middle of a fight.
Exactly. They have a fight in the middle of the fight. It's like a new challenger approaches while they're having a fight. And like Robotnik, one of the drones shoots a harpoon or whatever into the car. And they're still having the fight.
Honestly, it's kind of the it's kind of a milquetoast fight.
Yeah,
There's not really anything super exciting.
It's
I do
just-
like when they cut the top off the car. But, you know, every time I see one of those like road fight scenes, my mind goes back to the Disney movie Race to Witch Mountain featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
They make a joke about The Rock.
Yeah, they do.
Remember
For
Sonic
president.
was like
Sounds
after
like, is The Rock president?
Is The
or
Rock
whatever?
president? How full circle, guys.
Yeah.
Disney sponsor us.
Race to Witch Mountain, not a good movie. Would never recommend it
Disney
ever.
still sponsor us.
But yeah, for some reason, every time I see one of those like kind of bland car fight scenes,
Yeah.
I just think of that movie.
But like, so they progressively beat down this drone Batmobile, basically.
Yeah. They
and
get
then,
the sticky bomb.
Yeah,
There's
we get the sticky bomb, and then we get the like literally right after the fight scene, we get the is Sonic dead scene with the sticky bomb because they can't get rid of it, and then Sonic who by this point was able to basically stop time with his speed and do whatever he wanted to, didn't have the foresight to stop time and get away from a bomb before trying to high five Tom. And then blew up. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying like they should have had that scene later.
I see what you're saying. That reminds me actually. So, Maddie, Pretzel Lady, is a veterinarian.
Yeah.
And
that's why
this is how they bring her back into the movie.
Yeah.
It's because we have an injured Sonic, and so Tom takes him to his wife's sister's house.
Worst character in the movie is Maddie's sister. Her whole character arc is she wants Maddie and Tom to divorce and break up, and it's not happening, but she keeps trying to have it happen. And even with like Stone, despite
I like
him
Stone.
well, that's what I'm
the
saying.
thing,
Like,
he doesn't have much to him,
Stone and Maddie's sister have the same, basically nothing.
Same number of lines, basically.
Same number of lines and same nothing character, but Stone actually works because he's a foil to someone else. Whereas Maddie's sister is there and does nothing but like complain, and that's her character.
So Tom brings Sonic to Maddie's sister's house. By the way, I don't think we ever get her name.
I don't think we get her name either.
I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Oh, actually, it's this."
Actually, her name is Tiffany.
But I don't remember ever hearing her name.
I mean, I barely remembered Maddie's name, to be honest.
But so they show up and she's like shouting and everything, and it's a very chaotic scene. Honestly, it's a little, I don't want to say overwhelming because it's just kind of annoying, but like that scene just felt like it went on a little too long.
Yeah.
We have Tom being like, "Hey, I have this thing," and the sister being like, "Get him out of my house, divorce him." And then we have Maddie being like, "What's going on?" And then we have
What's the plan? What's the plan?
Who's just like, Uncle Tom, running up to him, and then we have dead Sonic.
Uncle Tom? Uncle Tom's cabin.
We
Wait a
have
minute.
dead Sonic in Tom's arms.
Yeah.
And it's just so much. It's not like, I don't know.
It's not overwhelming,
it's not
but it just
overwhelming,
doesn't feel right either.
It
It
just
feels
goes on
out of
for too
place.
long, really, is my main complaint.
It's
just
like
too long.
it's all right. The perfect example for this is like if you're going to see some like stand-up comic show, and they're doing like a joke. They're doing a bit, and the bit like it's funny at first. Well, not even necessarily funny,
Tim,
but
you're describing everything Saturday Night Live's done in the past.
I'm
10
talking
years.
about everything I do in life, anyways. But they're doing a bit, and it might not be like funny, but you're kind of like, I get it, whatever, haha. But it goes on and on and on, and you're just like, please let this end. I want to die. Stop. But it doesn't stop.
I mean, I think we're maybe laying it on a bit thick. It's not like the scene's that long, but it felt really long.
It felt long. In a movie that's like, I think it's only like an hour and 30 minutes, if that.
Film, that sounds right.
But like, it felt long.
Yeah.
Like it felt like 10 to 20 minutes of that movie.
So then we get Sonic laid out on like the kitchen table or whatever. They tie the sister to a chair with like cords.
Nondescript cords, and I think like a controller too.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, let me out." And in the meantime, Maddie's like, "I don't know if I can operate on him. He's obviously not a hedgehog," which I'm.
Can't you use animal sniffing salts for that? There are no animal sniffing salts, but I have human smelling salts in my human smelling salts bag.
That whole chunk of time is like,
Yeah.
And then Sonic gets his Pumas.
They wasted like 20 to 30 minutes of time in the middle of the movie.
Was it really that long?
It felt like that long.
I mean, now that you pointed out, it had to have been at least 15 minutes.
Because remember, they do like that scene was like, all right, that scene when he first shows up and everything, because they do like the kids movie trope where they do like 3 jokes right away when he shows up and everything in the scene, right? So that's like, that alone is like 2, maybe like 3 minutes long. Sonic finally gets revealed. That's another like 2 minutes long. They're talking about Sonic and the sniffing salts and everything, smelling salts. For like another 2 minutes. I mean, like it adds up. It keeps adding up in this household that no one cares about.
Oh, and then
for like 20 minutes.
We have the scene where like Tom and his wife kind of like, I don't want to say reconcile, but like he communicates with her for the first time since he met Sonic.
Yeah, actually.
And it's like, you didn't think to like call your wife before you left the town?
But there was a blackout. Remember that.
But the police station phone was ringing.
But his phone wasn't.
It was a cell phone. It would it have been taken out?
I don't know how that works.
I mean,
I have a degree in English. Do I look like I know how that works?
Either way, I just feel like it was kind of irresponsible for him to do that. His car's wrecked.
Yeah.
Like, it's gone. And then they steal the sister's car. She even says, "Don't you dare take my car." They take her car. And then they let Sonic drive it, and he
still don't get that. I still don't get why they let Sonic drive it.
It was for a quick, like, cheap gag, but, like, honestly, it's just too much. Like, obviously, I do kind of agree that, as far as the film goes, the sister is, like, probably one of the worst characters.
She's the worst.
But, I mean, they're playing it up like, haha, it's funny that they're stealing and ruining her car. It's like, yeah, she was annoying, but did she really deserve that.
I'm not saying she deserved that, but she was just annoying.
The film kind of says she does. It's played up
They
as a
don't
joke.
really.
It's played up as a joke that they wreck her car.
Everything's played up as a joke,
but
though.
there's no consequences for it.
There's no consequences in the film in general.
And then I don't know about that.
There's no. What happens to the fact that his car gets wrecked anyways? Nothing matters. Nothing happens. There's no actual consequence. They just get a new car. What happens to the fact that they go up to? Remember the scene though, where they're like they have Sonic in the bag.
Yeah, okay. I was just gonna.
There's no consequences.
There's no consequences. Like, oh yeah, we've kidnapped a child. It's not my kid. And then he's like, you keep me in a dog cage or whatever. And
There's
then
no
people are just like, yo, that's fucked up. And then they walk away.
And nothing happens. They just go up unimpeded.
That's a good point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter that, like, it seems like, it's over the top because there's no consequences in, like, any of this.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, like, when Robotnik's killing people indiscriminately
isn't there a closer town, now that I think about it, isn't there a closer town Tom could have gone to be a quote-unquote big city cop than San Francisco when he lives in Montana?
Denver or, like, Las Vegas. Would you want to be
a Las Vegas cop? I feel like...
Reno 911? We might have to talk about...
Big city cop.
Reno 911's a good show, guys. Watch it.
I've seen some pretty good clips from it.
I'm just new boot goofing.
I was too young to
new boot goofing. I was too young when I watched it too, but I watched it anyways, and it was a good show.
Right, so...
Well, while you're talking about whatever, I'm going to make a new drink.
Yeah. So they make it to the top of the building. They get Sonic's rings, which honestly, I was expecting it to be a little more difficult than that, you know? But it's whatever, because they just kind of keep the plot moving because Robotnik shows up, launches some missiles at Sonic, and Sonic throws Tom and Maddie off the top of the building. He pushes him off, and so he can disarm all the missiles without them getting hit.
He hit that Dwayne the Rock and whoever the other. It might have been Vin Diesel and the other guys. They were supposed to be the two hotshot cops, and they were going after a big case, and they're like aim for the bushes, and they jumped out the building and then died. Except Sonic did that for Tom and Maddie involuntarily.
And then we get to the bit we already talked about where Robotnik manages to move when time's frozen, whatever, and then his ship gets fast enough to keep up with Sonic. We won't talk about the fact that Robotnik's brain has to move fast enough.
We should also talk though, like the main reason he was able to do that is because of the hair from Sonic.
A quill from Sonic.
So
I mean, honestly,
sorry guys, we forgot to mention we're not the most professional.
Here, mad scientist. It would have been perfectly understandable if he just figured out a way to make his ship move that fast.
But I feel like it fits.
The connection.
It fits.
It's good, yeah. And
but there's basically Tom, when he first meets Sonic, after Sonic's goofing around, sees Tom at a traffic stop and no one's coming around. He's just like, I'm gonna see how fast I can go. Does that for a little bit.
He leaves a quill behind.
A quill is left behind. Tom picks it up. Whatever. He keeps it. Robotnik finds it when he's investigating Tom's house. Blah, blah, blah. We get to the point where Robotnik realizes he can use it for power. And we're back to what we were talking about now.
Yeah. So Robotnik's ship gets fast enough. There's this sort of chase/fight scene where Sonic uses rings to travel around the world. Robotnik's ship follows him. I will say I actually really like the shot where the mime is doing a circle and the ring
that was clever
behind him. I thought that was really well done.
That was clever.
And then we get the Sacre Bleu.
Sacre Bleu. Yeah. I almost wondered though, if they're, I don't know. I just can't get over the fact that Sonic was able to stop time. And then
I think if you think too much about it, you'll just realize that we're talking about a Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you're probably right.
There's obviously tons of things that you have to put aside your suspension of disbelief for. Yeah. And sometimes even
what you mean to tell me that that's not what a real hedgehog looks like?
Established rules get broken by themselves. It's whatever, dude. It's a movie. Yeah. It was fun.
But I feel like that's actually a good scene though. All in all, that's a good scene.
Yeah, I would say
because it makes Robotnik look like a legitimate villain.
Yeah, and then by the end of the chase scene, Sonic's worn down and shot and everything. Yeah, not shot.
He looks like
he's
dog
dead.
In the street, but he looks like he's dead. Even Robotnik's I don't mean to be indelicate.
Oh my God, that's another good line.
I don't mean to be indelicate, but you should probably get some ice
to the body. Yeah. It's pretty good. God, Jim Carrey just kills
Jim
it.
Carrey is so good. Look, I know Jim Carrey's not going to get nominated for this film. He should get nominated for this film.
Before we go off on yet another Jim Carrey tangent, so the end of the movie, we got Sonic all beaten and bruised, and then he goes, I don't want to say supersonic because he's not gold,
Yeah.
but he like gets like
Well, there's no
charged up.
Chaos Emeralds either in the movie.
Yeah, he gets like all charged up and he's like, don't hurt my friends or whatever, and then he bashes the shit out of Robotnik's ship and knocks him into a portal onto the mushroom planet.
He knocks him into the Mushroom Kingdom.
The mushroom. It sure was nice of the princess to invite us to the mushroom planet.
That's Mama Luigi to you.
Um,
It's a football. I chiseled it.
so
Dude, the
basically-
Mario.
Basically, the whole reason Sonic wanted his rings back was so he could get a portal to this mushroom planet that's uninhabited, and he'd be safe from being chased by the government there. But instead, he decides to stay on Earth with his new friends, and knocks Dr. Eggman into the mushroom planet.
Yeah.
We have a really good scene at the end of the movie, actually.
Yeah.
Where Jim Carrey shaves, so he's bald, and he has
Yeah,
the big
and he has
bushy
the
mustache.
he has the bushy mustache. Like,
And
oh, it was so good.
He just does such a great job.
He even remembers Stone
Yeah, he does.
because he carves out the face of Stone
Speaking
into
of
a stone.
which, I do feel kind of sad for Stone. I feel like he'll be lost without
Yeah,
Eggman.
Stone's never coming back, and that kind of upsets me.
It does upset me a little bit because he was such an enjoyable,
Like,
not integral, but
alright.
enjoyable.
I feel like we haven't. All right, let's talk briefly about why we like Stone, because we never actually describe Stone and why he's like
Well,
enjoyable.
first off, he's attractive. Let's just put that on
Look.
the table. He's a good-looking guy.
And like he's also just like, I feel like he's just a fun guy to have around.
He's just so genuine in his support for Robotnik.
Yeah.
And he's always very, like, I mean, his first line introduction, a little tacky. Eggman says a whole bunch of spiel to this military
Like
guy.
military,
And then he's
like
"Stone, please
scientific
explain."
jargon.
Yeah, and he's like, Stone, please explain. Stone's like, the doctor says you're basic.
Ho,
And
ho,
it's
ho.
like, ha 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 ha.
But like he becomes like a character that you're actually like, you know what? I like this
And
guy.
I really love his dynamic with Eggman. Sure, it's like very sexually charged a lot of the
yeah,
time.
he's definitely a bottom.
He's definitely a bottom.
He is the most submissive bottom I've ever seen in my life.
But it's entertaining.
It is. Like, even when Eggman's like,
Pin
pin yourself up to
the
the wall, and he like,
And
he
grabs his own
grabs
chest.
his own chest.
And then he
I'm
puts
like,
his, like, nose right up to his...
Stone. Oh, Stone. He doesn't even have a first name, but Stone.
We don't even know, like... All we know is that he's Eggman's assistant.
All we know is that he makes good
And
lattes.
he makes good lattes with steamed goat milk.
with steamed goat milk. And you know what, Stone? I love the way you make them. Please make them for me. But Eggman, though, he does, make the carving, the Wilson, the castaway Wilson carving of
And he calls
Stone's
him Stone
face,
because he's...
calls him Stone, and makes a few jokes.
The jokes are tacky, but
They're
they're
bad.
delivered all right.
But Jim Carrey tries his best.
Yeah, hold on. I had a thought, and now it's slipping away from me.
Well, while you're
Like a
trying to
fine
find your
mist.
thought, like
Oh,
your
it was
lost
about- it was
rings
about-
after getting hit like a Sonic.
No. It was just about Robotnik's character. He's such an enjoyably cruel character.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he does what they call good cop, bad cop after the bar fight. And so he's walking with Stone. He's like, now that's what I call good cop, bad cop. And Stone's like, haha, yes, sir. And then he punches him in the stomach.
Yeah, he
punches Stone.
he pulls
and
a-
he's like, you let your guard down.
He
It's
pulls
just out of nowhere.
He pulls a Mac from Always Sunny when like someone sneaks up on Mac and he just decks them. And he was like, "Oh, you gotta keep your guard up." And I was just like, "Oh."
I was laughing actually for
Yeah.
I actually
True
laughed.
facts is someone sitting next to this man in the theater that was filled by 4 other people. He was laughing.
Yeah, so I mean, for the most part, I think that basically wraps up the film. You get the power of friendship ending.
Well, Tails, for the next few minutes we'll talk
The
about
post-credit scene. we
The
get
not
Tails.
even post, like the mid credits.
The voice actor for Tails is really good.
Yeah, so
And Tails looks pretty good.
Tails is, spoiler alert for any of those that are still concerned about spoilers for some reason about a movie that's been out for like a month. Spoiler alert,
Maybe you're like me and you're just getting around to it.
Tails shows up and it's the same voice actor that's been Tails for like the last 15 years.
Do you actually look that up, or is that just an assumption?
That's an assumption.
Oh, well. Maybe don't say that then.
Nope, it's true.
But
Heard it here
sounds
first,
him.
folks.
It
It's
sounds
true.
It sounds exactly like the Tails from Sonic Battle on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And I think either they have the same person or the person did a very good job.
Great job of impersonating. But, yeah, I mean, like, so Tails is the end credits. Dr. Robotnik's in the Mushroom Kingdom. Just stuck there. So my whole theory is that in the second movie, Tails is going to hunt down Sonic. We've already, like, established at this point, because at the end of the movie, Sonic's been with the family for, like, a time afterwards. It's been a little while. Lives in their attic. It's been a little while. They haven't described how long it's been, but it has been a little while. So my whole theory is that Robotnik actually got to Sonic's homeland and is doing basically what Robotnik does during the games.
The actual games where he's like mechanizing the animals and making
so Tails found where Sonic is and is trying to get Sonic to go back to help.
Oh.
That's my whole theory. That like the second movie is going to be like Sonic trying to go back to actually help everyone in that land.
See, I hadn't really thought that far into it. I was basically just like, I hope we get Chemical Plant Zone in the next one.
Hopefully we do, because that's a good zone.
I would like to see. So I don't think he'll appear, but I would like to see Shadow the Hedgehog.
He's not gonna appear.
Why not?
Because like if they're only
the third one, you know?
If they're only showing Tails at the end credit scene of the first one, they're not showing Shadow until like
they
the end
could
of
have just left Tails to not appear until the actual second film.
No, because then they wouldn't have an in. They wouldn't have the in to
why
like.
do they need an in? Why can't a movie just stand on its own?
Because movies aren't allowed to stand on their own
and
anymore.
And you're like, oh wow, the second film, I really enjoyed.
Cal, have you not paid attention to Hollywood the past like 30 years?
Okay,
movies aren't allowed to be their own films.
I know the wet blanket being like, oh, why can't a film just be its own thing? But like, I get how money works.
If they're gonna make money, and like by all intents and purposes, Sonic's made money and might be the only movie that make money for like the next 5 months in Hollywood.
Yeah.
What is your final rating of the Sonic movie out of rings?
Out of rings? I'll give it 3.5 rings.
3.5.
I really enjoyed it.
Ooh.
It's my favorite video game movie right now. It was enjoyable. There's some bad dialogue. Sometimes Sonic's lines feel very phoned in. But I really liked it. I watched it again.
Alright. So, alright. As someone that's seen it twice, I will give it 3 out of 5 rings. It's a fine movie. It's enjoyable. It's not fantastic. Don't go in there thinking you're gonna.
If I was an 11-year-old, I'd give it 5 rings. Probably.
Well, we're not an edgy 11-year-old now, are we?
You don't have to be an edgy.
But out of like just someone that's like an enjoyer of film, it's not fantastic.
As a cinephile,
as a cineholic, as someone that just likes movies, it's not fantastic. It's not gonna like rock your world. It's not gonna be something that you're like, oh wow, I gotta show it to everyone. But as a movie in general, like you're gonna have fun with it. I mean, there's gonna be some moments where you're like, didn't need that.
But I think even the groaning is like a part of the experience.
I mean, like I will concede it is the truest video game movie experience you're gonna get. Because in video games, you're gonna get a lot of like groans. You're gonna get like It is the truest to that. So I will say it's still like 3 out of 5 rings because Sonic, you know, he's got rings. But like it is the truest video game kind of experience as a movie I think you're gonna get for at least a while now.
Guess we'll see you guys next time.
See y'all. Bye.